just gonna wait for people to fucking pop in, I guess. I gotta be super quiet because everyone's fucking sleeping because they're all gay. Sketchbook. Just waiting for people to pop in right now. Well, technical difficulties over. Alright, we got some viewers. Hello everybody, welcome to I Am Games, the most hungover stream on twitch.tv. I am Tom Oliver. Everybody else is fucking sleeping / not around, so we're just gonna make games until these faggots get up so we can play Deltarune. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do right now. Digi and May are gone. Ben is collapsed on the couch. Munchie is dead. And I woke up a couple hours ago because I'm the only one who is hardcore, apparently. So today we're gonna just work on a Azumi game until everybody else gets up because I don't want to play Deltarune by myself. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know where anybody is. I don't know how alive they are. But, yeah. This is a Azumi game, where it is right now. Oh, CM398. If you haven't played Undertale, you should. This whole game is apparently designed for people who have played Undertale. I don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. But that's what's happened. Alright. Let me just make sure I haven't broken anything since last time I've tried doing this. Oh, I should hide those. That's something I kind of broke. The lemons. I can throw shurikens in the air now, which is fucking sick. Oh god. Alright. I think everything here still works, which is good. I don't know how good the frame rate on the stream is going to be right now, because I don't think Streamlabs OBS likes Windows 7. I think that's a lot of our problem, because every time I put it on a Windows 7 machine, it just misbehaves in some way, shape, or form. So, I would not be surprised if the frame rate on this is really low, because it's really low for me. It's actually slowing the game down just for having Streamlabs open, which is pretty bullshit. Alright, all this works, that's good. So this is just like the little test environment I've been using ever since I started development. It's got like all the fucking assets and shit all around there. And now I'm trying to build like an actual presentable level. This is just test assets still. It's gonna be like an abandoned sort of warehouse, I think. I got like a little, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see on the camera, because obviously I just pulled this stream out of my ass last minute. It's like a little sketch of like roughly what I want it to look like. But yeah, that's the idea. So if we can just run around in this right now, because this part is going to be bigger, but you just like jump through platforms and just jump on them, and then the dodge mechanic is also good for platforming, so I can like jump and then dodge and get to like platforms further away. So there is like some good movement logic in that as well. But yeah, can turn stars and shit. It's pretty sick. Pretty fucking cool. So, yeah, we gotta turn this into like an actual fun level to play. I hope you had smoke clouds on the jumps. Yeah, there's actually code in here to do that, or, you know, events. If I go down to here, right here, there's supposed to be a big, like, puff of smoke when you hit the ground. I just haven't drawn it yet, so I just turned it off. But if I turn it back on, let's say, well, let me just Go back in here. You can see a big square. There'll be another one when you take off, but like I just actually have to draw the actual effect. So the logic's there, it just doesn't do anything remotely presentable yet. This guy attacks too fast, man. I gotta fix him too. Yeah, okay, enough screwing around. Enough dicking around. We gotta get shit done. So I'm not exactly sure how I want this level to work. Level design I don't know anything about, so I'm kind of just making shit up as I go. I could just give him a bigger windup literally right now. Let's go into the attack one. Just add, oops, add a frame, more frames. Right now it's just like, that's it. I think the biggest problem is I don't know how to pause the attack after it's done. Because like he'll hit, and then he'll immediately hit again. I'd like there to be like kind of like not that. Like maybe if I duplicate this a few times, or I don't even need to duplicate. What am I doing? Like a fucking peasant. Just add the weight on this. You can duration on frame property. We'll go up to like 3. So this part will last 3 times as long, and then he'll go back up. Let's try that. Let's see what happens if I do that. So it just kind of holds that. It's a little better, but it's not the best. It's still really fast. Yeah, fuck you, shuriken to death. Yeah. Not a horrible thing, but I think we go this. Right now I think I have the logic so that the hitbox is active on this frame, and this frame. Yeah, it's a 2D game, but if I open up like Blender for instance, so I'm making all the enemies in 3D and exporting sprites out. So here's the dude in 3D with like bones and stuff. So it's like an actual dude. You can like, you know, grab him, move him around, make him do stuff, whatever. And I have all the frames of the animations in 3D and just exporting. So I just, you know, render image. Then it renders out as a little tiny sprite, and then you reduce the colors to make it look like a Sega thing. I mean, I wouldn't say the gameplay here is I mean, Digi was test playing it yesterday, and he was like, yeah, tons of games play like this, so I'm kind of like already the clone, I suppose. But I think the aesthetic will be nice. This guy came out better than I was hoping. But yeah, I can even open up, where is it? Where's Azumi herself? There we go. The star of the show is here, and queer. So, I'm gonna do tons of stuff with her. Probably gonna add more animations at a later point. Yeah, Mega Man Zero is like a huge inspiration for like the movements and stuff, just because like that game felt great. Like it felt sick when you weren't getting like your ass violated by everything. I did not make this in Spore. This is Construct 3, which is like baby game making thing. So I would be surprised if Spore has a similar logic thing. But yeah, it's just a lot of shit. No, this isn't cell shading. There's actually no shading at all. It's complete. All the texture, all like the lighting is all painted on, like an old school, like crappy PS2 engine with no lighting would be. It's all just painted. So if I go into the UV editing, you can see this is just the model itself. And if we open up the texture, you can see everything's just painted on there. So it's all just drawn essentially. So that's the aesthetic. We gotta make a level, guys. Gotta make a fucking. That's the next part. Gotta make a level. Make a fucking level. So, the idea I had in here is I wanted to have it be like a warehouse. So there was gonna be an entrance on this side. Like, the idea for like the final level, or just like the little alpha level, is there gonna be like a hallway on this side. That's just like the tutorial. Teaches you the controls, blah blah blah, and then you come into this room. This door locks. There's a door on the other side that will lock. And they're locked in there, and you have to kill 50 dudes before the door unlocks. And then it's just a big arena, and guys will be spawning. And the way it's going to be set up is that it'll start with like small enemies, and as you get more kills, the harder enemies are introduced. Fuck yeah, Jalen Harris for bits. TY, sick. Also, let me know if the bit jar works. I just added it because we don't have it on the actual streaming box. I'm just streaming on my personal computer right now. So if it's working, sick. I can set it up for Deltarune as well because it was literally one click. But yeah, so then these turrets will spawn once you've killed like 15 or 20 guys, and these guys will spawn and kill like 30 guys, and then they'll all be coming at you. And it's pretty easy to set that up. Yeah, it's Maso Chocotalk with more bits. Give me all your bits. I have not played 20XX ever. In fact, I don't even know what it is. I like really lost track of Mega Man after Zero on the GBA. Yeah, it's probably going to be more of a vertical stage than a horizontal one. Which I don't even know if that's a good idea. I'm not 100% sure. Because there is so much horizontal movement in this game. Because the dodge gives you horizontal speed and not vertical speed. Maybe it would be better to have it be a horizontal stage. But I'm not exactly sure. I'm not 100% yet. My initial idea was to have it be a vertical stage. Because I do want these turret guys to be up top that can like shoot down at you. So they force you to keep moving. Because every 4 seconds they shoot like a fucking beam. And it tracks your movement. But they have like a laser sight so you can see that they're targeting you. So I want those to kind of keep the pressure on. But they only spawn one at a time. So if you can kill the turret, get up to where it is, like up on high, and kill it, you'll get like 45 seconds to a minute before the next one spawns in. So you got a little bit, you relieve the pressure there a little bit. So I definitely want like those on high, on accessible platforms, but just like you could technically just ignore them and just dodge their beams because there'll be like a sound cue of like a charging up thing, so you can kind of keep timing it. Yeah, fucking 1,000 bits from Bill Murray and Shades. Hell yeah. Thanks. That's fucking dope. Have you played the Monster Evolution Flash game? I have not. Link me in the Discord and I'll check it out. If you're not in the Discord, you should. You should be. Alright, we could try a horizontal arena. Because the sketch I have is more horizontal, I suppose. The last thing I want at the top is I want to have like some rafters, like some metal rafters you can get up to. That's kind of like a safe area, and there'll be like health recovery items up there, but they're difficult to get to. And then I think enemies will randomly drop a health item. Probably like a 1 in 15 chance or something like that. But yeah, I was thinking of designing it kind of like a funnel, so that the center point on the bottom would be a safe space. So if you fall, like, let me just kind of quickly rearrange it to what I was thinking of. Put this one here, put this one here, and then this one is kind of like up here. This one is kind of like up here. Then you have like some, oops, I need to lock that. I'll just say, for instance, we have this and this. Then put that one over here. Yeah, I figured, fuck it, I'm just gonna sit here. I might as well give the people what they need, which is entertainment. I don't know why that keeps opening, making me look stupid. I don't want that one. I kind of do though. Yeah, so this is roughly the idea I'd sketched out in my notebook. Is that you'd have these rafters you can get on top of, and there'd be like a health item on either side if you need to like just escape the pressure. Then enemies would spawn on the platforms later. I think I'd also probably have platforms here. This is where turrets would spawn. This is all not to scale, clearly. I'm just kind of trying to make it clear. Yeah, extreme verticality is interesting, because the interesting thing about the dodge mechanic is that if you're jumping and then you dodge, it turns the gravity down to 0, so you maintain all of your vertical momentum until the dodge finishes. So for like example, let me just actually go in here and I can show you what I mean. If we go into the preview, because that's kind of why I like the idea of like having some verticality. So you can jump normally, and see I can't reach these platforms anymore because I move them up. But if I jump and then dodge, I keep my vertical momentum. So you can jump way fucking higher than normally. And then if you jump twice, you go even higher. So the dodge is great for, because you can't get hit by enemies while you're dodging, but it turns off gravity until it's over. So your vertical momentum upwards is always maintained. So you can go way fucking higher than you would just with a jump. Ascending a skyscraper would be really sick, especially since I'm doing a lot of stuff with 3D models. Like you could even have it like as you're going around the skyscraper, you could have the skyscraper rotate as you're going along the edges, it'd be really cool. That's kind of out of the scope of what I'm trying to do right now, but in terms of like making a level later, it's a great idea. Because so much of the game will probably be horizontal just because it is a side scroller. To mix that up in something that isn't just like the typical fucking elevator bullshit that just goes up statically, but you're in control of the upward momentum, would be really interesting. And again, like the way this dodge mechanic works, you could do like some big leaps that could result in death if you fuck it up. Because you get to keep that upward momentum. So like the mechanics are already baked in to make a scenario like that pretty interesting. So I'm actually going to make a note of that right now to revisit at some point. Skyscraper descent. It's a good idea, dude. Thanks for the idea, Keyblade. It's fucking sick. Yeah, I can already envision that pretty clearly. It would just take a lot of work to add the mechanics to what I have already. Right, yeah. Right now, all these platforms are just jump throughs, which is just like you can jump over them. But there will be some, like all the stuff here. These aren't jump throughs. They're just, you have to go around them. I think the ones because like right now the turrets are on ones that you can't jump through, so you have to like maneuver around them. Oh, I'm sorry, Keyblade. I'm sorry. You're right. I fucked it up. I was speaking quickly. I didn't enunciate properly. Yeah. So fuck. I've been trying to watch some videos on level design, but there's like so much to it, and I'm such an idiot that I need it like spelled out for me, which is fantastic. But yeah, all right. So let me go back for a second. Let me explain how like enemy logic works. For example, so like this guy right here, you can see there's two boxes, and these are like his boundary boxes. So if I make these visible for a second, because right now they're invisible when you start the game. But what happens is when this guy collides with them, he turns around. So you can see once he hits those boundaries, he just turns around. So as long as you're outside of there, you're basically safe. You're not going to get hit. The difference with this guy is that he has a line of sight cone, and if you come into it, like I move over here, he sees you, he starts chasing you. So I can bring him outside here and have him come closer. So like, oh no, he found me. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, he's chasing me. His eye's open now. And then once you get out of there, his eye closes again. Now he just goes back to his patrol. It just goes back and forth, whatever. So we can use these boundaries, these yellow boxes, to create safe spaces in the level. And what I wanted to do initially, to go back to this arena design, is that I was kind of thinking of it like an inverse funnel, because these platforms and these platforms, the natural place to jump would be here in the center. So I figured if I take those barriers and drop them on either side, you can have like skirmishes down here, but if you ever fall from any of these platforms down to the center, you'll never fall onto an enemy. Ori's enemy animations look like shit. I haven't played the game, but the whole game looks gorgeous. Like, are just the animations themselves bad? Like, that's interesting. Yeah, I gotta start playing more platformers. Like, it's weird. Like, I'm building a platformer, but I haven't really played a lot of 2D platformers in a long time. But I used to love them. That's kind of why I'm making it look like a Sega game. Because I played Revenge of Shinobi and Sparkster and what's not Sparkster? The one that came before it. Rocket Knight Adventures, Sonic and Mario, obviously. So oh, the Cyclops guy animations look like shit. Yeah, they do. They're placeholders. I'm trying to finish it by the 8th, so they're not fully baked yet. There needs to be more wind up and follow through on the animation, like which is it's not hard to do, but I just don't have time to do it right now. Like this one right here, for example. Like there should be another couple frames of him going back, and then maybe I don't think it needs another acceleration frame. I think this to this is good, like in terms of weight. But it needs to. There just needs to be more frames to iron it out, and it's not too hard to do that. Like if we go, this guy, right? Like we can do breakdown frames. So for example, between like I don't know, where's a good example of this? Like it's already tweening some of the stuff I have already, so I could just export more of those frames. But like you can see it's tweening them, so I could add more. It's not too hard. It does a lot of the in-betweens, and then you can just manually adjust them afterwards. It's just if you make it too smooth, it starts looking like a Sega game. The Sega game animations didn't have a ton of frames because it didn't have a lot of memory. But you don't want to have it be too choppy that it looks weird. But yeah, these are all done in a day because I have like 7 days left to ship something. I still haven't played Rise Star, but it looks sick. Everything is going to be tweaked. That's the whole thing. Like nothing in this is really final yet. I might even make Azumi's sprite bigger to give it some more detail. I mean, the choppy animations... It's not even... Okay, the problem with these animations aren't even that they're too choppy. I think this one's not a bad example because it's tweening. But, like, it's just that the keyframes aren't strong enough. Like, I think this one's only 3 frames, but I think the walk looks decent. Like, it's not great, but, like, it's essentially only 2 frames. But it's enough to convey the fact that, oh, it's walking. Like, it's not great, but the keyframes are pretty strong, and it gets the point across. This one, similar. Not as good, is my opinion, but decent enough. That's just 1 frame. That looks fine. So it's just, you know. And then I want to add, like, explosion sort of effects, like blood splays when everybody dies. When you don't have a lot of frames, you got to make sure that each keyframe really sells the motion, and his aren't so much. I think the slimes are actually really good. So, like, if I swap him out for the slime, which I actually reduced the animations on the slime a bit, on this death animation to make it more punchy, because I thought there were too many frames. You see, this guy only has a couple frames, but I think he animates pretty well, and he's simpler to animate, so that's why it looks better. But, like, he just kind of goes back and forth, and he doesn't chase you. He doesn't have an attack or anything. It's just touching him, you know, and then I can... So that, I think, works pretty good. These guys are okay. There's only, like, I think 4 frames in there up and down, but they look alright. So, again, it's making sure the keyframes are decent enough. So, yeah. Oh, God. Gotta add that smoke effect, dude. It'll be sick. I might also add like another frame of her like crouched down, like absorbing the impact of the fall. I only add like 1 or 2 frames, but I think it'll sell the Descent better. I don't know. All those have to be added later. They'll be added after the 8th. Cause like these are just features that'll just won't be not worth it, but just they're not key to making something shippable. It's just polish. I'm not too worried about polish. Azumi's the Dark Souls of Shinobi clones. No, that means it's bad. That means I don't like it. I don't like my own game anymore. I went for pixel aesthetic to start because A, this engine doesn't support 3D, and B, 3D games are way more complicated to make than 2D games, so everything I read said start with 2D even if 3D is your goal, because you can get the basics of game design down without introducing Z-space and all the extra complexity that comes with it. So I decided to start from the beginning and not overwhelm myself with a massive Titanic project that would be beyond the scope of my understanding. Oh, yes, I know exactly how I want the HUD to look. Like right now, the HUD's not going to have everything I plan on having it, because like in the main game, in addition to having health, they're going to have a blood meter. So like you're constantly going to be, the sword is a living sword, so it's constantly going to be demanding blood, so killing guys increases your blood meter and stuff like that. But I think I'll probably have Azumi, like a little Azumi face here, and then like the 2 bars coming out of it with maybe some like grit and texture underneath that kind of separates it, pops it off from the UI. That's like what I was supposed to be doing right now this week, because I was supposed to have the level done by now. But yeah, have you not seen the Demon Sword? I can show you the Demon Sword. He has like a model and everything. Try and find it. Yeah, so like he's got like a face and he moves around and stiff. So he just needs blood. You gotta feed him blood or start eating your blood. Hell yeah. True fan for the win. Yeah, he's pretty sick. This whole like sky dome thing in this image. Oh god, it's so big. Forgot. There we go. Or not. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Let me just hide this page. There we go. So yeah, if I can, I don't know why, where the bones went. Bones are just not visible, I guess. Maybe I hid them. Alt H. No. There we go. It's like he's just got a little bone chain in there. You can move his mouth around and stuff, or make him talk. And this kind of has a constraint on it. Or it should have a constraint on it. Or this one has a constraint on it. Yeah, so the whole thing kind of... So that's cool. Maybe I think it could, like you could do that. I mean, it would be more difficult. It would just be more work to do, like just adding more stuff. And I don't know, I would have to find a way of doing it that would make it very clear, because a bar is pretty clear, right? Like it's an overlay. That's why we use UI to begin with, is because it's easier to kind of discern information when it's abstracted to a form that's functional. You know, like a bar is like losing fill. It's like, okay, I understand what that means. Like a good example of a game that did this, that like really straddled the line, is there's an old PS2 game called The Getaway, and The Getaway was like all about realism, because like it was a Grand Theft Auto clone, but it was all set in a realistic recreation, realistic for PS2 standards, of London, and the game had no UI at all. So everything that was discerned and communicated to you about the status of your character, your vehicles, and even where to go was all communicated through in-game prompts that blended into the environment. So like if you're doing a vehicle chase section, it didn't like have an arrow that knew where to go. Your car blinker would go on. You have to like turn where the blinker turned on. So like it was cool because it was unintrusive, but it also presented a problem that some of these prompts blended into, like they were in part of the environment, so you would miss them and it'd be harder to notice. You know, like a big arrow telling you where to go in a car chasing scene is immersion breaking, but it is also very clear. Whereas the light blinking on your car, like it's much more immersive, but it's easier to miss. So you got to really find the right balance of like having something that's very clearly presentable, but also not too distracting and also not too vague. So like for me right now, like bars are very obvious. Like when I dash, it's like, okay, I've lost a bit of bar. And so you can tell how fast it's refilling and how much you need and all that stuff. It's clear. Adding it to the character would be good and would be cool. I just would have to sit down and actually like put some thought into, okay, how exactly do I want to do that? And it would just be more complicated right now because like all these sprites are pulling from the same resource, and to have, because I would have to remake, like let's say it's what you said, and like I changed the color of the scarf, right? That would mean I'd have to have a running animation for with every color of the scarf, not just one. Because right now I have 3 frames, but I have to have like probably like 12 or 15 because I have to have one of each frame in each delineation of the color as it fills back up. So it just adds a lot more work. It's doable, but it would add a lot of work to do, and it would also like you'd have to make sure, because all the work could be wasted if you do all that work and then it's not clear enough and people don't get it quickly. So like it's tough. I think for a game like Celeste, where the visuals are like even cleaner and simpler than even this game, having the character delineate like your status changes works better because there's a lot less complexity. But something like the scarf, which is always moving around and in different positions, it could work because it is bright red and it contrasts with everything else good right now. But we're also in like a sterile green room where red is like the contrasting color. So putting that in other environments, it might blend in more and it might not work. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying like it would take a lot of testing, and I don't have the time to do a lot of testing right now. The circle could be cool too. Like you'd have to make a pie chart, like a pie sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, there's so many options with UI, you know? Like, there's so many good ideas. Like, I've looked at a lot of games. There's a lot of great ways of doing it. I really like the way Shinobi for PS2 did it with the dots. And then the other meter was a thing inside of it. You know, it was like a yin and yang kind of thing. And that was really cool. And it took up not a lot of space, which was great. The only kind of bad thing about it was because it's dots, and the dots kind of, they shrank and then disappeared when you went to the next one. It was kind of difficult sometimes to judge, like, how much that one dot was worth, you know, because like you get hit and lose an entire dot, you get hit and lose like 4 dots, or you get hit and lose a half a dot. And if you have a half a dot, it wasn't as clear how much of that dot is left. But again, with a bar, it's, you know exactly how much is left. So like, I'm just saying that like the way I have it set up right now, these are just default things. Like I didn't design these, I just added in a progress bar, and that's the default design. You got to go in and tweak them after. But like a bar like this is very clear. Like there's no confusion, there's no stylization to it. You know, I know exactly how much health I have left. I have like, you know, a little less than 40% health, and I have full dodge, and I don't have to like sit there and try and like demystify anything more abstracted. So yeah, I don't know. It's a whole other thing, you know. Like if I wasn't working on such a tight deadline that I've already like pretty much fucked up, because the last 2 days I've just been like partying, which is a poor form for me. Got me out on track. Like I would take tons of time and like do tons of different ideas, like different versions of the UI, and like, do a bunch of different versions and try different tweaking things and see which one worked good. But right now I'm just going to do probably a pair of bars, a face, a little bit of visual information, and just have it be clarity above everything else. And then once feedback starts rolling in, once I have more time to really start focusing on like that in more detail, I could revisit it, because they'll be adding more to it anyways, because there'll be more mechanics in the final release of the game, so it'll have to change regardless. Fuck yeah, dude. Wiggle Muncher, good job joining the Discord. It's fucking sick. Yeah, widescreen is pretty dope for platformers. Yeah, the Phantom Pain health bar was, or the health effects, it was very modern games. It was very Call of Duty. Yeah, it was just different. It wasn't very Metal Gear. The whole game wasn't very Metal Gear, though, so. I did like the new combat mechanics and stuff. I wish they had those mechanics with, like, a traditional Metal Gear, like, storytelling, narrative-driven game. I think that would be really interesting. Right. This is really about the fundamentals at this point. It's all about just getting the basics down. Because I don't want to start like finalizing too much before I get feedback. Like I've only gotten feedback from Digi, and even Digi gave me a couple good things just yesterday. So I want to get this like out to patrons. Like, okay, patrons, what do you think? What can be changed? And then I can start taking like weeks at a time to fix stuff. That'd be cool. All right. Anyways, we gotta get back on track. I get back on fucking track. I can't believe it's 6:46 and still no one's awake yet. I might have to like go kick their ass because we gotta play Deltarune. I've already like seen a bunch of spoilers. I gotta scroll away from them before they actually spoil me. It's installed. I installed it and everything. We're good to go. Just they're all being gay and dead. Dude, I don't know. I got up on time. If you've never woken up at 9 p.m., you're a normie. I have woken up at 9 p.m. and it's not fun. It's not a good time. Let me tell you. I'm definitely like my body is a morning person. No, my body is a late sleeper and my mind is a morning person, so it's like not great. The dash, it doesn't have a set trajectory. It's just that like when you dash, the gravity's disabled. Like you while you're dashing, gravity doesn't have effect on you. So whatever your vertical trajectory was when you hit the dash button, it is maintained until the dash ends. So if you're going like you're jumping and you hit like a 45-degree angle in your jump arc and then you dash, you're going to keep going straight 45 degrees until it ends. Oh no, it's not a set direction. You can change direction mid-dash. So like if you're fast, you can use it to like zip around corners and stuff, which adds more interesting mechanics and stuff. So you can change the direction at any time. It's short, so you don't have a lot of time, but you can do some cool shit with it. I think that wasn't even intentional, but because I have the left and right commands outside of the dash state, they still are in effect even when you're dashing. So you can do some cool shit with that. So like, I mean, you can still dash twice. So like, you can do cool stuff. It's cool. It's cool. You can do some. It's fun. It's a good system. And Digi was saying I should add a double jump, and I think he's probably right. Because then you can double jump and then double dash and not the Mario Kart and go ham and do some crazy shit, and that'll be dope. So yeah. Sick. I think a good sign that like the game's going okay is that sometimes I just sit here and just like fuck around with it for like 5 to 10 minutes at a time. And not even because I'm trying to like suck my own dick, just because like, yeah, this is kind of satisfying. The dash is satisfying. So, on the right track. Unique selling proposition? I mean, this is literally just for me to learn game dev, so I haven't even really thought about a unique selling proposition. I would say perhaps, I don't even want to say aesthetic, because I don't think the aesthetic is very unique, but that is like something I'm putting a lot of thought into, just because that's my main source of enjoyment, is like coming up with cool looking shit. But I'm definitely trying to like have, if I was gonna sit here and design a USP, it would be flow. Like I want to try and make everything flow really well. Like that's something I'm always really autistic about on IM games, is that like I don't like when things stop your momentum. I'd like it to be able that everything feels like you're just kind of going and moving properly, and you can just be like a badass killing machine that like doesn't have to stop or take breaks, or you know. And it's ironic that I have the stamina bar for the dodge, because that kind of spits in the face of the idea of the game, but the dodge would just be too OP if I didn't have it, because you could just dodge indefinitely and be invincible and always place yourself in the right position. So the dodge meter was I don't want to say half-baked, but like just stopgap implementation to bring the dodge back down from being broken. I think probably in the final game there will be a different system that doesn't interrupt flow as much. I don't know what that is yet, But that's what playtesting and feedback is for. Could you technically do a wave dash, short jump, then dodge to the ground? I don't think so. I don't know Melee, so I don't even know what a wave dash is. But if you mean like doing a short jump and then dash, because it's going to keep your upward momentum of the jump, you can't dodge down until you're falling. Like if I'm falling and then I dodge, it'll keep the momentum going down. But if you're on the upward, it's always going to maintain momentum upward. Downward, you're already being affected by gravity again, so gravity will keep staying in effect. At the end of the game, Azumi should get a robot arm and infinite dash. Maybe a robot arm. One of the power-ups in like the main like Dream 3D game is going to be like when you get enough blood, you make an arm out of blood. You can use the sword two-handed and start doing a bunch of extra combos and stuff. That'll be like a Devil Trigger kind of state. And then like when you're not in Devil Trigger, you can use your stump arm. You can make a whip out of blood and like grab people from afar and pull them in, start hitting them and stuff. So that's not going to be in this game because it's very far out. That's like little things I'd like to have in my dream Azumi game that'll come out in 50 years when I'm 80, you know. There's so many options, man. That's the thing. This is like a canvas. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's kind of overwhelming, but in a good way. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of this layout right now. It looks cool in my little sketch, but the sketch itself is actually kind of bigger than what I'm doing right now. What if I change dimensions? What does that say? Unbounded scrolling. Allow scrolling past the edges of the layout. No. Why would I want that? Alright, I'm gonna flip the script on this. 2048 by 1024. I'm trying to keep it in powers of 2. So that the tile set scales perfectly. This is Construct 3. It's technically a web-based program. But they have a downloadable version of it, like a wrapper, which I'm using on desktops because it performs a little bit better. And it's like code-free game design. It just uses an event sheet for stupid people. Even though I do want to learn Python. I'm going to learn Python with Munchie. It's going to be sick. But yeah, no code. It's just event sheets. Put the floor back in. I'm going to try horizontal now. Let's see if this improves anything. Oh, I lost my girl down here. Oops. That's not good. Oh no. Is it snapping? Yeah, I'm going to turn snapping off. Yeah. It was like misaligning the sprite and the collision box because the snapping was enabled and they're different sizes, which I definitely don't want. Here we go. Am I going to send this video on YouTube? Oh god, I didn't even think about that. I just kind of like started streaming because no one else was around and I didn't want to like have another delayed stream on the channel. Counters would be sick. Not... How would I set up logic for a counter? The problem I have right now is that I want to be able to trigger things on certain frames of an animation, and it's not easy to do with this program. Like, I have that in one of these. Like, if we go down to the Oni guy, his logic here, here. I'm able to trigger something for him on a certain frame. Because like he has that big windup, and I didn't want that to do damage to you, because the windup being able to hit you wouldn't make sense. So I have it if the animation frame on that attack animation equals 2, that's when the hitbox spawns. Which actually might not even be correct anymore, because we just changed it. Right? What's it on now? Oh no, it's still 2. Okay, that's fine. So the hitbox doesn't spawn until it fucking comes down and hits. I don't have a time stop, but I talked about this in one of my dev vlogs. But I did figure out how to do a slowdown thing. I have it disabled right now, but I can enable it. And like, if you hit somebody with this enabled, it does like a cool little bullet time thing and slow down things. I want to have that for dodging. Like if you dodge a boss, have that slowdown in, so like you get that really cool impact moment, like oof. He's asleep. Everybody is hungover and asleep except for me, and that's why I'm doing this bullshit solo stream. He wasn't games enough. Yeah, you can see with this, like, you get some slowdown when people get hit, which is kind of cool. Whoa, he like did not die. Alright, I'm gonna disable that again. Ooh. I don't know why they're not dying now. It's kind of weird. Whatever. Turn those back off. There's another thing, like I was watching the guy who did Nuclear Throne. He has a whole presentation on how to make games punchier, and it's really good. And one of the things, there was a function in Game Maker which he was using called Sleep, where every time you hit somebody, it would freeze the game for like a couple frames to give the hit some more impact. I don't know how to do that in Constructed because there's no sleep function because it's a different program. But if I could figure out how to do that, every time I hit somebody, I want it to like slow down or stop for a second, so it really gives you a minute to appreciate that impact. It also works in like Mega Man X. I remember Mega Man X5 with 0. Every time you hit somebody, there was a slowdown, so you could really enjoy that fucking death. There is screen shake. There is screen shake every time somebody dies, and when you get hit, there is also screen shake. Yeah, hit stop. Exactly. Exactly. I probably should just Google Construct 3 hit stop, and I bet there would be a video tutorial about it. Is it possible to make an animation hold for an extra frame only if you contact an enemy? Probably? Probably. There isn't like a function built directly into the program, but you could make one. Because the way that the hits are working is they're all on collision with. So if I did on collision with, then I could have maybe. I'd have to look into it. I'm sure there is a way, but it wouldn't just be like a 1 or 2 click thing. You'd have to like set up a system for it, which, fine, worth it, obviously. But I mean, I agree. I agree, Keyblade, entirely. If you don't have hit stop, kill yourself. It's the best. Hit stop, screen shake, And like I need also impact effects. Like when something gets hit, there needs to be like a ping, like some good. And then you got to get great sound effects. Great sound effects also imperative, which is gonna be the hardest thing for me because I don't know anything about sound. Which is why I'm trying to get my friend Matt to make some sound effects and stuff because he's an audio guy. But those are all super important. It's all about that fucking that yeah, feels good. I fucking slice the flesh open with a blade. That's how you know you're doing the good shit. That's how you know you're doing the good shit. I'm probably just gonna have someone else do music, honestly. Or I might just go on Newgrounds and find some cool Newgrounds music. I would like, ideally, to have the music sound like a Sega Mega Drive game. And all the sound effects to sound like a Sega Mega Drive game, so it sounds authentic and cool as fuck. Because visually, I'm trying to like make it look like, you know, a late Sega Mega Drive game. Because right now the controls are even set up for a 3-button controller, so you could play this on a Mega Drive controller. The biggest issue with the game right now is that the hit impacts feel like shit. And I am willing to admit that. Hitting things doesn't feel good. And that's really where the bulk of the work is going to have to take place. Because if that is like the entire game, right? As far as I'm concerned, hitting something and making you come is this entire game. And if that doesn't work, the rest of it doesn't matter. I can have the coolest mechanics and the best platform and all that shit, but if hitting something doesn't feel good, it's worthless. Yeah, Alton Williams knows what's up, dude. You can't talk about Sega Mega Drive music and not talk about Metal Squad from Thunder Force 4. Like, that's what I want. That's what I want Azumi to sound like. Is that shit? That shit's fucking perfect. See, that's what I want. That was so great. I guess even Game Maker took this feature out, but they were talking about it was called Sleep. And we just pause the game for a couple frames. And there is, like, in the event sheet, if I go into fucking... Uh-oh, I hear a knock. Hello? No? Nobody there? There are ghosts in the house. Yeah. Mime knows what's up. The slashes feel good. The game feels good. Agreed. What was I saying? Oh, the sleep thing. Hold on, someone's knocking at the door. BRB. I'm not. Is there a homework around here? No. There isn't? No. Well, is there? Thank you for your time. Yeah, we got swatted. It was bad. That was the cops. I just talked to them. They said I was so cool that they were just gonna let me go. No, it was like some fucking salesman dude. Oh my god, everyone's panicking. I did say someone was at the door and I'd be right back. Like I did announce my leave. DMC1 handguns and shotgun effects. Dude, the Devil May Cry 1 shotgun is the best sound effect in video games. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me the Devil May Cry 1 shotgun isn't the best sound effect ever. That when you fire that, you just instantly get a boner. Every time. It's the best. It's the perfectest thing. Like, I want a mod that just puts the Devil May Cry 1 shotgun in Doom 2016. That make the game, like, 10 times better. The one in DMC3 is the same sound effect, so... They just brought it back. It's like, you can't make it better. Look. Jester. Look, you're earning your name right now talking about Legend of Dragoon, okay? You're earning the Jester and Jester Monocle, okay? You're being a clown. Can't touch Devil May Cry 1 shotgun. It's too good. Fuck. Alright. You know what? We're just gonna try and get hits done. Or hit stop. That's what we're gonna try and do. We're gonna try and do that. For each player hit, we have to add it in here on the system trigger once under each player hit. Because we do have a system effect. Go down. Wait wouldn't really work. Set the minimum frame rate below which the game starts to go in slow motion. Restore an object's time scale back to game time. Alright, what if I say set object time scale and I want it to be the enemy? Time scale to like 0. Alright. And then I have another action. System wait 0.05 seconds. And then system restore object timescale. Enemies done. Pain wheel makes me come every time. All the sound effects in Skullgirls. I don't play enough Skullgirls. They changed the jump sound in DMC5? Really? Weird. I've not played Painkiller. I want to. It looks fucking sick. The optimal temperature? Dude, I don't know. That's a good question. Alright, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this madness that I just added. We're gonna give it a shot, guys. No, it didn't do anything. It doesn't feel any different. Maybe it's not working. 0.05 seconds should be enough of a hit stun. I like how sometimes they just don't die all of a sudden. That's concerning. Like, see? That guy just didn't die. Why? I don't know. It's never happened until right now. Is it only when they're facing that way? That's a new bug, if so. And I'm not happy about it. Hey, look at this. What is going on over here? They should die in one hit. Oh, I hear voices. People could be rousing from their slumber. I hear Digi. Digi is awake. He's not gay anymore. Maybe he will be games. The hit stun isn't working. The hit stop isn't working. Let's try and make it bigger. Let's try and make it like unnoticeable. And see if the logic's even working properly. Alright, it is working. Oh, but we still move too. That's weird. The object timescale should override. Okay. I got an idea then. Alright. We might be onto something, guys. We might be onto something. Okay. Well, I'm streaming in my room, so I'm gonna have to stop this stream and start the next one if we start doing things. I don't want an object timescale. I want world timescale. I want that to be 0 for a second, and then restore. And then I want to set timescale back to 1. But I don't want to wait that long. Let's do like 0.1. Alright, we could be onto something, people. We could be we could be creating art. Oh no, it's not going back. That's right, that's right. That's the reason I didn't want. Because the problem is when you set timescale to 0, this is the problem I had before. This is actually what I tried to do to have hit stop. When you set the timescale to 0, you can't wait 0.1 seconds because the timescale is 0, so time in the game stops going. So you never get to this next command. It just locks it up, and that's why I had to take it out. Interesting. Okay. You could set it to like 0. Or you could set it to, I don't know if a timer, because there's a timer object, but I don't know if a timer object would run if timescale set to 0. Oh, Minesweeper, this is Construct 3. It is easier to use than Godot, but it is probably more limited because it's a 2D only engine, and like it doesn't have any like hard coding, so like you have to work within its constraints, which are pretty good. But if you know Godot, I would go with Godot if you feel comfortable enough with coding. I just wanted to make a game now, and I didn't want to spend the time learning Python, but I do want to learn Python and get back into Go. I will be going back to Godot once I have enough Python knowledge to adapt it to GD script. Does LOD have big band pairing? I don't know what that is. LOD. Shit. Alright, we gotta figure this out. We're so close. We're so close. Oh, of course Legend of Dragoon. Of course Legend of Dragoon. What was I thinking? Foolish. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They're interchangeable at this point. They're interchangeable. Fuck. Alright, we don't want to use a wait command then. We want something else. Alright, what if we set timescale to 0.01? Something really slow but still doable. And then we wait 0.001 seconds or something. This is such a hack way to do this. I'm sure there's a better way. Oh, it kind of works. It kind of works. It kind of works, dude. It kind of works. It's kind of. Oh, dude, doth mine eyes deceive? Was that some hit stop? Was that some fucking hit stop right there? Hold on. We gotta try this again. Dude, it's totally fucking working. It's hacked as shit, but it totally fucking works. It's in. We did it. We have hit stop. It is real. Like, I can definitely make it better, but yeah, it is. It's a real thing. It's happening. This is not a joke. This is real life. All right. It's the most bullshit way possible to do it, but that is how video games work. All right. Now that we have hit stop, we got to make that screen shake bigger. We got to make it a bigger cone when they die. Hell yeah. We're gonna up it to 15 to 25. Now let's get this shit rolling. Yeah. All right. It's happening, guys. It's real shit. Fucking die, bitches. Why is he still alive? I gotta figure out that bug. It's gonna piss me off for life. Alright. This is... Look at that. they still live sometimes. Even though, did their HP change? Let's go back and check. They should only have 0.5 HP, which means they can be killed by literally anything. Yeah, 0.5. Yeah, weird. Hold on, the 6 yard, I didn't fuck up anything here. Greater than or equal to 0. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. Animation, dead finish, destroy. It doesn't even go there. It doesn't even play the dead animation. But interesting. Bug fixes. Literally the worst part of game design. Melty? I've heard about Melty Blood forever and I haven't played it because I suck. Because I am bad. Someone should link me Melty Blood in the Discord. Get in the Discord. It is cool. Bug fixing is game dev. You know, I said before, like it's 80% bug fixing easily. Alright, I'm in the wrong thing. I need to be in the flyers, not the turret. I gotta see what's going on here. Yep. HP rating 0. Yep. Oh. There's no destroy. Well, it shouldn't have to be in here, because it should be being taken care of by the enemy family. But they're not playing that animation. Let's go back and take another peek at this. Yo.
What are you doing?
I'm streaming on IM Games. All you fucking faggots weren't awake.
Oh.
Doing game dev.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you fucking homo.
Well, I'm awake now.
Alright, we gonna play Deltarune?
Sure.
I installed it. It's ready to go.
What, here?
Yeah.
In your room?
No, on the streaming computer.
Okay. Yeah.
Pathetic. Be sure to make fun of everybody except me for the rest of time now. So yeah, stream's ending. We did it. We got hit stop. We did it. We did it, fam. We made a real video game together. We the power of friendship let us do this. All right, go watch Deltarune. It's gonna be sick. Hopefully, I'm saving the progress. All of our accomplishments were just locked into the cloud for all of time. Be the games you want to see, and the game you want to see is Deltarune in like 2 minutes when we start the stream again. Goodbye.